The 12 disciples, often referred to as the apostles, played a pivotal role in the birth and spread of Christianity. These men, hailing from diverse backgrounds, were united by one common purpose: to follow Jesus and share his teachings with the world. From fishermen and tax collectors to political zealots, their collection might seem unusual for such an important mission. Yet, each disciple had a unique role to play in God's grand plan. Their number, 12, mirrors the 12 tribes of Israel, symbolizing the continuity and fulfillment of God's promises. But these disciples were not mere followers. They were Jesus' closest companions, witnesses to his miracles, teachings, and ultimately his crucifixion and resurrection. Jesus chose them not for their status or influence, but for their potential to learn, grow, and spread the message of God's kingdom. While each disciple brought a distinct personality and character to the group, their shared mission was clear: to bear witness to Jesus' life and teachings and to take the gospel to the farthest corners of the earth. Though often facing danger, their commitment never wavered. The transformation of the disciples. Over time, these men transformed from uncertain followers into powerful leaders, with stories filled with struggles, flaws, and deep faith. Even in their weaknesses, such as Peter's denial or Thomas's doubt, their lives reflect the human challenges with faith, making their journeys relatable to believers across generations. Despite their shortcomings, these men displayed courage, perseverance, and unwavering faith, teaching us all valuable lessons about leadership, humility, and faithfulness. They were not perfect. In fact, their flaws were highlighted throughout the Gospels, showing us that even the most ordinary people can be used for extraordinary purposes when they follow Jesus. Their lives remind us that God uses imperfect people to accomplish his great mission. By following Jesus, they became not only his students, but also his ambassadors, spreading the life-changing message of salvation to the world. The apostles' journey, from humble beginnings to courageous leaders. Now let's dive deeper into the lives of the 12 disciples, exploring their unique journeys, struggles, triumphs, and legacies that continue to inspire and impact the world today. Disciple 1. Simon Peter, the Rock. Simon Peter's transformation from a humble fisherman to the rock upon which Jesus built his church is one of the most powerful stories in Christian history. His impulsiveness, devotion, and deep faith make him a deeply relatable figure in the New Testament. When Jesus called him to be a fisher of men, Peter left everything behind: his family, his livelihood, choosing to follow Jesus with all his heart. Peter was a leader, often speaking on behalf of the disciples. Jesus even affirmed his leadership, declaring, "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." His boldness and faith were sometimes tempered by his struggles with doubt, like when he denied Jesus 3 times. Yet, after Jesus' resurrection, Peter was restored, reaffirming his commitment to the mission of the church. His eventual martyrdom in Rome solidified his legacy as a courageous leader. Disciple 2 and 3, James and John, the sons of thunder. James and John, brothers known as the Sons of Thunder, were passionate, bold, and ambitious. Jesus' nickname for them speaks volumes about their fiery nature. Though they were sometimes impulsive, such as when they wanted to call fire down on a Samaritan village that rejected Jesus, their devotion and love for Christ were undeniable. James, the first apostle to be martyred, set the tone for future persecution. symbolizing courage in the face of trials. His brother John, often called the beloved disciple, went on to write the Gospel of John, emphasizing Jesus' divinity and the central role of love in the Christian faith. John's writings, including Revelation, continue to shape Christian theology and offer a profound message of hope. Disciple 4. Andrew, the quiet evangelist. Andrew, though not as well known as his brother Peter, played a crucial role in spreading the gospel. His humility and quiet faith are reflected in his willingness to lead others to Jesus. One of the first disciples to follow Jesus, Andrew's first act was to bring his brother to meet Jesus, marking the beginning of a powerful mission to spread the good news. His role as an evangelist reminds us that it's not about recognition, but about faithfully serving and pointing others to Christ. Disciple 5 and 6, Philip and Bartholomew, the seeker and the skeptic. Philip's inquisitive nature made him a thoughtful disciple who sought to understand Jesus' teachings fully. His initial questioning of Jesus' miracles and his practical response during the feeding of the 5,000 show his thoughtful, pragmatic side. But Philip's faith grew as he witnessed the power of Christ firsthand. Bartholomew, also known as Nathanael, started as a skeptic, doubting Jesus' origins from Nazareth. However, after meeting Jesus and witnessing his divine knowledge, Nathanael's doubt turned into a declaration of faith, showing that even those who question can come to believe in Christ's true nature. Disciple 7, Matthew, the redeemed tax collector. Matthew, a tax collector despised by society for his association with the Roman oppressors, was radically transformed when Jesus called him to follow him. His immediate response demonstrated a deep faith and commitment, and his gospel became one of the most significant accounts of Jesus' life. Matthew's story is a testament to the grace of God as Jesus reached out to the marginalized, proving that no one is beyond redemption. Disciple 8, Thomas, the doubter who believed Thomas, often labeled Doubting Thomas, embodies the struggle many people face in their faith journey. Doubt. When Jesus appeared to his disciples after his resurrection, Thomas initially refused to believe without seeing. But when Jesus showed him his wounds, Thomas declared, "My Lord and my God." His journey from skepticism to profound faith reminds us that doubt is a part of faith, and that through personal encounters with Christ, we can find deeper belief. Disciple 9, Thaddeus, the quiet, faithful Thaddeus, also known as Jude, was one of the lesser-known disciples, but his role was vital. Known for his loyalty and deep faith, Thaddeus was a seeker of truth. In his question to Jesus at the Last Supper, Thaddeus sought to understand Jesus' mission. His quiet but firm faith reminds us that discipleship doesn't always involve being in the spotlight, but it is essential to the church's mission. Disciple 10 and 11, James the Less, and Simon the Zealot. Humble yet essential James the Less and Simon the Zealot may not have had the prominent roles that other disciples did, but their lives offer powerful examples of humility and commitment. James the Less, likely from a humble background, worked behind the scenes, while Simon, once a revolutionary zealot, was transformed into a passionate proclaimer of the gospel. Disciple 12, Judas Iscariot, the betrayer. Judas Iscariot's story is one of tragedy. His betrayal of Jesus for 30 pieces of silver marked one of the darkest moments in the Gospels. However, his role in the plan of salvation cannot be denied. His story is a sobering reminder of the consequences of sin and betrayal, but it also raises profound questions about free will, redemption, and the depths of God's grace. Conclusion: the enduring legacy of the apostles. The stories of the 12 disciples transcend time, offering lessons in faith, leadership, and the transformative power of following Jesus. From humble fishermen to bold martyrs, each disciple had a unique role in spreading the gospel. Their imperfections make their stories relatable, but it is their dedication and courage that leave a legacy still felt today. As we reflect on the lives of these remarkable men, we are reminded that each of us is called to a greater purpose, to live out our faith with courage, humility, and devotion. Whether in the spotlight or working quietly behind the scenes, we all play a part in the ongoing story of faith. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content on the disciples and the transformative power of the gospel.